Y'all, don't believe me anymore when I say I'm not bringing Love is Blind content, okay? I'm gonna just keep bringing y'all content as long as it's relevant and as long as I find it interesting, and that's just that on that. Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would absolutely love it if you love the content, if you want to support the content, if you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It continues to inspire me to make content. It continues to motivate me to make this content, and I'm just really coming along great with my subscriber goals and things like that for this channel only being like a month and a half old. I am less than 50 subscribers away from 400, which is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now I'm gonna try to get this video out kind of quick because my camera's about to die and I really want to get it done before the camera dies, okay? Thanks. So we go be talking about Love is Blind today, okay? There is more updates with both the previous cast and also season 6 cast. So I'm just gonna get right into it. The first thing is with Renee Poche. If you remember, Renee has this very huge, very crazy story with Carter Wall where basically he was an abuser, and she has now taken a lawsuit out against the production company, not even Netflix. I believe it's Delirium, which is the production company. She has taken out this lawsuit. She has cited so many things. It was awful. The show, really, I'm surprised is back for another season with the velocity of the things that she was claiming, her and Trandang. It was just so bad. But a new report has come out that Renee has failed in her bid to have the $4 million NDA battle with Netflix and producers be public. She wanted it to be a public dispute, and she has failed. So this is a Deadline article. I'm just gonna go ahead and read some of it to you guys. So it says here, the public won't get to see what's going down in the $4 million battle between Love is Blind contestant Renee Poche and producers Delirium and Netflix. The motion to compel arbitration is granted as to defendants Delirium and Netflix, ruled LA Superior Court Judge Bruce G. Awaski today after a downtown hearing. This matter is stayed pending the outcome of arbitration. Sorry, my phone's frozen. The parties have clearly agreed to delegate the court's responsibility to determine the arbitrability of the arbitrator to decide, the judge added, of the clear and unmistakable language in Poche's non-disclosure agreement. The matter is delegated to the arbitrator to decide all the substantive issues raised by plaintiffs' opposition to arbitration. In the sometimes contentious hearing itself, Judge Iwaski put it even more bluntly. The court is stuck with the contract. That's the contract. So this is insane. Basically, that was a lot of legal jargon, but the basic message here is that the court is sticking with the NDA. Like, they are sticking with the NDA. The NDA is ironclad, and because of that, Renee essentially does not have the right to have this be public. She doesn't have the right to basically break the NDA and have the public see what was going on, which is insane to me, which is absolutely insane to me that these NDAs are so ironclad. That's why it's like, don't go on reality TV. Like, people think it's a joke, but like some of these reality TV show contracts are insane. You sign your life away, your rights away. They can fine you, they can sue you, they can gag you. And we're seeing this all with Renee. It's really insane. So, in her filing earlier this year from those reality TV show fighting attorneys Brian Friedman and Mark Garagos, Poche called Wall a walking red flag and claimed producers willfully overlooked his erratic and alarming behavior and emotional instability. Delirium said no and took their arbitration action last fall under the clauses of Poche's NDA. Poche contends that the agreement itself is illegal and unenforceable and brings this action to vindicate her legal rights under California law, replied Friedman and Garagos on January 2nd in the case against Delirium and Netflix. Poche wanted her NDA rendered null and void, which would have been a 9.5 magnitude earthquake in the unscripted world if the judge had granted it. Clearly, Judge Iwaski did not grant that request. The motion for a preliminary injunction is denied in its entirety, he ruled Friday. So, it's just so sad to see, but like I think people don't always realize the severity of these contracts. I think that sometimes people say, get out of it, do this, do that. And it's like these companies can take out so much against you. And it is clear that Renee and Trandang, both of them went through some immensely deeply troubling behavior. And the fact that they really can't bring anything to the public, really. They can't say much, you know, because they have to run the risk of being sued. It's really bad. So I do feel for her. I do hope that she continues to try to bring this to the court and she doesn't stand down. I know it's a lot of money to bring these kind of lawsuits forward, but I do hope she doesn't stand down because at the end of the day, yes, we watch these shows for entertainment, but I do think for all of us, right, the entertainment stops when people are actually being abused, actually being hurt, actually going through life threatening and endangering situations. So I do really wish the best for her with all of that. And it is sad to hear that, you know, she didn't get what she wanted there. So this is this. Next things next, Matthew. Matthew did an AMA on Instagram the other day, and I'm not going to read everything. However, there are a few questions that were very funny. Like his answers were funny. So Matthew does reveal that he does have a girlfriend, by the way. He is not single anymore. He has a girlfriend. But let me get this here. So one of the funniest things that he says here is what happened with you and AD, basically. Why did you and AD and Amber not work out in the real world? They are too chicken and rice-like for me. This man said they are too chicken and rice-like for me. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? He said they are too chicken and rice-like. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Another good question here was, why didn't you talk to any of the guys? He responds, I did. I was basically the dad of the experience. I got yelled by a producer for encouraging the guys to be careful with drinking and some of the commentary. The dates used up a lot of my communication energy. I wish all the guys well. Look, I'm an introvert, so I ain't even gonna hold you. I get that. I understand that. And I do believe that the producers probably told him, whoa, like, you're telling them not to be crazy. Whoa, calm down there. So I do believe that 100%. Was your speech exactly the same for both girls? No. I thought it was important to know their family's position on getting engaged without ever meeting the person. And yeah, we saw it. And at first when I watched on the reunion, it sounded similar. But as I rewatched it, it does sound like they're similar speeches. But I could see how it's a possibility that it was that he just genuinely wanted to get to know everybody's stances. Okay, someone asked him, do you like Spanish or Latin women? And he said, funny you should ask. This is Vanessa, my GF. This picture was taken the same day as the reunion. We went to the Charlotte FC soccer game with friends. And then lastly, do you think you did anything wrong with AD and Amber? And he says, nah. Now, I mean, look, I think Matt is trolling. Like, I think Matt is literally trolling at this point. He knows that people think he's a menace. Matt's is fine. Like, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Matt is fine. That man is good looking, okay? But he's trolling. That man is trolling us to the nth degree. But he does have a girlfriend, and good for him. He seems happy. He seems to have moved past this process. Kenneth and Britney. Britney did an interview. I forgot the name. I'll put some clips. But Britney basically did an interview where she talks a lot about a few different topics. One of the first topics that she does hit on is her and Kenneth having a conversation prior to their breakup. Because as you remember, Jessica was the one that said on her Nick Viall interview that they had a conversation prior. And Britney, she clears that up.
I need to make it clear, okay? Check in. Everybody still hanging on? I need to make it clear that Kenneth and I did not, NOT, have a conversation about our breakup prior to the kitchen scene. Okay?
The rumor mill is wrong.
The rumor mill is wrong. So, as viewers and listeners, you instantly think of Jess being on the Nick Viall podcast, and she mentioned us having a conversation prior to the breakup. She is not in the wrong for saying that. once again, Jess was not in the wrong of mentioning that, like, we had a conversation prior. It was honestly out of protection, and that is okay. Like, I need to make sure that's clear.
So, according to Britney, they did not have a conversation prior to the breakup. She basically says without saying that Jessica said that to cover for Kenneth. You know, cover for Kenneth, maybe they're friends, maybe they get along well, whatever the case was. Jessica was clearly saying that to cover for Ken and to make him look better. Britney says they did not have a conversation prior, which, if that's false, I don't know. The weird thing to me is it seems like everybody's trying to cover for Kenneth. Jessica, Britney's clearly trying to cover for Kenneth. We see in all her interviews. But it also seems like Jess's and other cast members just really all seem to be trying to cape for Kenneth. I don't know if maybe he's not doing well behind the scenes or whatever the case may be. But they just all seem to really be on his side. And they even be willing to make themselves look bad. I feel like Britney has made herself look so bad by trying to like cover for Kenneth this whole time. So we may never know what the truth is with those two and the breakup, but according to Britney, it is not true. They never spoke about the breakup prior to breaking up. They also touch on Kenneth's sexuality.
Britney clears up the rumors regarding Kenneth and his dating preference. Check out this clip.
A lot of people have asked me directly if Kenneth is gay. And I want to clear the air and say, no, he is not. I believe that people are starting to just think way too deeply into his, way of handling our situations of like, the physical touch thing. As viewers, it looks as though, he wasn't very affectionate, all of that. And while, yes, I did express that to a certain degree, it was not so much so that it drew a concern for me that he does not like women. Like, I want to say this and really put a lot of emphasis on this too, is that Kenneth is so incredibly respectful. And so his thing and his way of thinking of it, he's like, I am not that type of man, stereotypical to meet a girl in a bar and be all up on her, touch her, feel her, all of that. That is not him. He is so respectful that he would never cross a line unless I told him, I am comfortable with this. Well, there's the answer. America, he likes women. Okay? Cheers to it.
So Britney says, look, this is not a thing. There is no proof anywhere. Just because we didn't work out doesn't mean anything about his sexuality. She claims she never had a question about Kenneth's sexuality. And I will say, you guys know here in my videos, if you've been watching me, I do not speculate on people's sexuality. That's personally not something I'm going to be doing. There has obviously been some speculation out there about both Clay and Kenneth, and I have not really touched any of that speculation. I think that if either one or anybody on any cast or anyone in life, period, is questioning or figuring out their sexuality, that is very much their business. And outing somebody or jumping on a bandwagon can really be detrimental to certain people's health. So I do not go into that. I'm not going into that. I'm not touching that. I'm not saying anything about that. And then lastly, Clay also did the Dear Wifey podcast, and he and his mom are on there again. Mans is doing all the interviews with Mama. So they do talk a little bit about the reaction to the mom comment, how AD said, I don't want to be like your mom.
Clay and his mom respond to AD saying that she didn't want to be like Clay's mom at the reunion show. Check out this clip.
In the reunion, I think she said, I don't want to be, his mom. And that's why you're not. Because he had to be on this healing journey for him. And this is his way of doing it new.
When you heard her say that, did you think that was offensive?
So when I first heard it, I was kind of locked in with trying to maintain my composure, because also too I knew that cameras are on, and you know they were trying to get my facial expression, especially when it kind of brought around the mat thing. So I was more so locked in with more so holding my composure and not coming off like essentially like an angry black man.
Yeah.
That, you know, so looking at back, it was just like AD, like, you know, and I don't think she meant it out of ill will intention, honestly, but it's just the fact that like she's been around my mom so much. It's like you could have that conversation you could have had like maybe like to me privately. Don't say that in front of my mom because it's like it's already embarrassing enough that, you know, what I even exposed out there. But then it's like you just throwing it out there like almost like, you know, being married for 23 years is not something to, you know, celebrate. You know, at the end of the day, it is. And, you know, just saying that, hey, I don't want to be like your mom, I don't want to be divorced. Like, I get that. You don't want to, nobody wants to have divorce, but I think the way we're going about it, you know, you wouldn't get there as well. Like, you just want to rush into a marriage and then say, oh, I don't want to be like your mom. But, like, my mom had 23 years.
Yeah.
We just met each other.
Yep.
You know?
So with that, I think people interpreted that comment 2 different ways. I think some people interpreted it as AD saying she doesn't want to be like Clay's mom, but others have interpreted it as I don't want to be like your mom. And so it's not really clear what it is, but I do think my only thing in that is Clay in that other interview being like, you wish you had this 23-year marriage. When first off, sir, you were the main one dragging your parents, bringing all their dirty laundry to reality national TV. And now you want to talk about she's jealous of the 23-year relationship? You're the one that painted that 23-year relationship in a poor light. It wasn't AD. It was you, sir. And second of all, I think regardless, he said, oh, we could have had this conversation behind the scenes. You embarrassed her at the altar. You have no leg to stand on to say, oh, we could have had this conversation behind the scenes, when it's like, well, you could have also had a conversation with her behind the scenes about the fact that you were going to leave her at the altar. So that's all I have to say there. And lastly, they also... Hi guys, so my camera died in the last part of this, so I am just recording a little voiceover here. But basically in the last part of the interview, Clay talks about how his DMs are blowing up and him resisting the temptation is preparing him to be a husband. ... So I'll let y'all listen to that, but also thank you so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for always supporting the channel. If you like this content, please like, please share, please comment, please subscribe. Please check out the other videos I've done recently, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.
Your DMs be popping. I know you went in your DMs, don't they?
I mean, it's they there, but I haven't been like responding.
You don't respond to them?
You know, I mean, you know, I just feel like if I respond to some of the DMs, it's like I'm jumping right back into the same pattern. Right. So like I said, I'm just trying to, you know, stay out of it and really kind of walk the good fight. You know.
Look at Clay, you're trying to grow. Look at you.
I'm trying to stay with temptation, man. That's good. Like, honestly, like, all right, cool. Temptation is right there. If I could navigate this where the engagement is so high and like so many people are seeing my page. If I could like withstand the temptation now, then I'll be able to withstand it when it's not so high, you know? So like right now, so much temptation going on, so many like women throwing themselves at me. I just feel like if I could like withstand and not just go back into the same patterns and just like try to hook up with so many women, you know, I feel like it's preparing me to be a husband now, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.